The latest headline news story on the world stage, and as you can see clearly coded with the number 33. As I mentioned so many times in the past, just look for that number 33 with the so-called Atlantic Odyssey, with the Hanta nightmare. And just taking a look at the name Hanta itself, when it comes to Hebrew, it means nonsense, a lie, scam, fraud, or something fake. Very interesting when it comes to Hanta. And of course, taking place on a cruise ship, just like I covered back in 2020 with that news story going back 6 years ago. Here you see the Princess Cruise Line, the Grand Princess. We'll get into the Diamond Princess actual cruise from Japan in a little bit, but I should mention this photo with the Golden Gate Bridge actually painted international orange for 33, and construction started in 1933. But again, when it comes down to it with this Hanta, and supposedly it started off with a rat, and going back in time again 6 years ago, it supposedly went down, started with a bat. So you have a bat and a rat with both these headline news stories. And again, the number 33. Again, 6 years ago, I covered this. The Diamond Princess Cruise Line, of course, Diamond being 33 in numerology. And just take a look at the text underneath the video itself. Again, back in 2020, Bill and Colette Smedley hope to celebrate their 33rd wedding anniversary. And again, the Diamond Cruise. And this is from his Facebook post. Again, people that deny the number 33, there's a lot of so-called truthers that mock when I mention the number 33. They have no place in truth. And again, all these news stories that I covered going back in the past, I cover them all. When it comes to, of course, Charlie Kirk, you see Epstein, Trump, everything you see here I covered in great detail. O.J. Simpson as well. And just a little bit of close-up of these news stories I've covered, just for context. And again, that number 33, for those that don't know, is all about the 1/3 or 33% of the fallen ones, the fallen angels, and Lucifer being thrown from heaven. And again, the concept of communication when it comes to Masons, out of evil comes good. However, in the confusion of tongues gave rise to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. So they're going to tell you without words with this number 33, like I mentioned to start off this video. Now again, going back in time, when it comes to this news story, as I've covered in 2020, here you see Bart Simpson, of course, from The Simpsons. Simpson in numerology is 33, and this episode is from 2012. And before I show this episode, this portion, this aspect of it, let's take a look here at the predictive programming aspect, which we've seen so many times in television programming. Predictive programming in the context of media and culture refers to the idea that media, particularly movies and television shows, subtly prepare audiences for future events or societal changes by presenting them in fictional scenarios. Now let's take a look from the episode from 2012 with Bart Simpson manufacturing this panic aboard this cruise ship, just like we've seen 8 years later in the so-called real world. Let's get right to it.
This is General William Sullivan with an emergency message. Outbreak of the deadly Pandora virus is spreading rapidly. All ships must remain at sea until further. Humanity must endure.
A virus? Stop the ship!
They're buying it. They're buying it.
And just like society is buying it, and again, getting back to the aspect of predictive programming, take a look here from the X-File movie called Fight the Future. As you can see here, the subtitle of this movie, and you can see here at the very top, this year take your greatest fear and multiply it by 10. Or the X as in X-Files. But one thing I find interesting when it comes down to it, Fight for the Future, of course, Fight Future is all about predictive programming. And the number 66, for those that don't know the number 66, it comes down to it, 33 equals 66 in numerology. Now to conclude, let's take a look at this clip from the movie itself. Very telling. Again, they must tell us what's going to happen before it happens.
Are you familiar with the Hanta virus, Agent Mulder?
Yeah, it was a deadly virus spread by field mice in the southwestern United States several years ago.
According to the newspaper, FEMA was called out to manage an outbreak of the Hanta virus. Are you familiar with what the Federal Emergency Management Agency's real power is? FEMA allows the White House to suspend constitutional government upon declaration of a national emergency.
And again, I show the numbers, I show the evidence. I don't base the information I provide in video presentations based on one piece of information. I use multiple. And I've done that over the decades. Again, with this movie, Fight for the Future, and the Simpsons episode from 2012. Unbelievable. The world is an absolute stage, and everything we see happening today was planned out long ago.